I thought I'd do more of a casual video this week, more of a stripped down kind of personal one. I've never really talked about celibacy. I've kind of done videos in the past about being an incel, etc., which the men absolutely hated. It's always nice, I think, to see someone express themselves online that are going through the same thing as you, so you're not alone. So I've actually been celibate for quite a while, and I won't exactly say how long because I think you do need to keep a little bit back online, but I have been celibate quite a while, and it is completely unintentional. Like, if you've seen any of my videos before, you know I want to meet someone. You know I'm not obviously saving myself or waiting to get married, etc. And some people are. And everyone's celibacy journey is going to be different. People are going to be celibate for completely different reasons. So I thought I'd just talk about my journey. So I kind of decided to be celibate a while ago after the last time that I had sex wasn't a very nice experience, basically. And I kind of thought some of the times that I have had sex in the past have been honestly slightly grey areas of where I've maybe been pressured into it, not been ready, and sometimes I was doing it because I felt either I had to, because I felt that I'd maybe put myself in that position where I couldn't say no, and I still had that female conditioning that females have of if you lead a guy on to a certain point. I had no boundaries when I was younger, and I didn't know how to say no. And that is so common for women when they're starting out on their sexual journey, is that they literally don't know how to say no, and they end up getting persuaded into doing things that they necessarily wouldn't want to do. And I kind of felt like that if I look back on some of my sexual experiences. It was sometimes things that I didn't want to do, but I felt I had to. Or I felt that maybe if I had sex with someone, then he'd like me and it would develop into a relationship. So some of the sexual experiences I had in the past were, the only way I can put it is grey areas. And that particularly the last sexual experience I had, I documented it in a story time, I remember, but I've done so many videos, I can't remember which one. But I felt like I had to have sex. I felt like it had got to that point where we should have sex, and at this point I was so broken that I kind of felt like I had to have sex with this person, even though I wasn't really physically attracted to him. So the sexual experience in itself wasn't really a great one. And that relationship didn't really work out. Then I changed and I thought, no, I'm not having sex again until I'm with someone that I really like and that respects me. So I decided not to have sex again until I met a decent guy, basically. And fast forward to now, where it's like, oh, I'm still on the celibate journey. And I kind of thought that, I would be celibate, and obviously we've had you can work, if you go from my childhood, you can kind of work out, the timeline. And then we went through a pandemic, and I generally thought, oh, maybe I won't focus on sex and then I'll meet someone and it will happen naturally. And I'm at this point now where it hasn't happened. And I'm just like, I can't heal anymore. Like, you do not even realise how much work I've done to heal. You should always be wary of people online that are selling you courses on how to heal, because girl, you do not need to heal to have a boyfriend. Like, nobody needs to heal to be in a relationship. That is a myth. I mean, are we supposed to just continually heal and heal and heal until we're a perfect person? You're never going to be a perfect person. I can go into experience now and think, okay, I would go into that experience differently from when I was 25, but you don't have to constantly go on this journey where you have to heal and heal and heal and be perfect. So yeah, that just winds me up when people are putting healing courses online, because that is honestly, that is a grift. You do not need to heal. You know, I constantly shoot myself in the foot with my honesty, because I could sit here and tell you that you need therapy, and then I could get a BetterHelp sponsorship, you know, to pay my rent that month. Or I could tell you to go on Bumble, and then I could get a Bumble sponsorship. But I'm not that type of person. I have to be honest with you. And a lot of you out there don't need therapy. You don't need to heal. You are absolutely fine. For me, I guess being celibate was getting my self-esteem back, because when you do sleep with men, the majority of women will form a connection with that man. For me personally, I needed to take a step back, because I realised I was just picking the wrong men. And for me, being celibate and not having sex was, for me, it was a sense of reclaiming my self-esteem, because I'd got to this point where I would be dating someone and they would have sex with me and they wouldn't want a relationship with me. It would literally destroy my self-esteem. I would constantly be thinking, what's wrong with me? What don't I have as a person? Why doesn't this person want a relationship with me? And it would honestly just mess with my head so much. So that is why I decided to become celibate. But the irony is, when you do become celibate, your standards become so high that people aren't necessarily attractive to you, because they aren't putting in the work. Because, you know, they're not taking you on dates. And that is a whole separate issue about dating culture, which I feel like I've probably talked about loads before. But it is difficult when you have that standard of wanting to get to know a man first, and I feel for you. I feel for the young girls doing this. You're going into a culture where hookup culture is the norm, where men are expecting sex early on. And I know what it's like when you're going out onto the dating scene and your standard is, oh, hi, I want to go out for free dinners first. I want to get to know someone. And I know what it's like when the men are like, no, can I just come around your house and have sex with you? And I'm like, no. It is the culture we're in, and sadly, you know, that's why I've been celibate so long, is that I'm in a world that's completely changed. This is why I literally don't go on the apps, because I have this theory about dating apps. I have this theory that the men on dating apps are sex starved. That is why they lead with sex. And that is why as soon as you go on a dating app, you get like the dick pics and the men just wanting sex. It's because the men that go on dating apps are primarily sex starved men. So that is why they lead with sex. Whereas on the flip side, the women go on the dating apps because they are intimacy starved and they haven't felt that physical connection, that physical intimacy with a man. So when women go onto dating apps, that's what they lead with. They lead with the wanting to go on dates, wanting to relationship, wanting to be exclusive as soon as possible, is because the women are intimacy starved. And I think this is why dating apps don't work, is because the men primarily go on it for sex and the women primarily go on it for relationships, and the two just don't meet. And obviously you're going to get the flip side of that, or there are genuinely men on there that want a relationship, and you know, vice versa. You are going to get women on there that just want sex. But I think if you generalize as a whole, that is the experience I've found with dating apps, is the men leading with sex way too early and not wanting to invest. And that is sadly because of the dating culture we're in. If a man has just swiped for a woman, he feels no connection with her. He feels no sense of urgency to pursue her because he's literally just swiped and it's a low investment. And he's not going to want to take a stranger out for a dinner that he doesn't know. And I do get it. I do get it from the male point of view of why would a man want to take a complete stranger out for a meal, spend £90 or whatever, and never see her again. I do get it from the male point of view. So this is why dating apps are not going to work. Because a man doesn't want to waste his money. The woman wants to be respected and courted. Obviously, women are different from men. Women want to be romanced. They want a chivalrous man that is going to get to know them and romance them. And dating apps just aren't made for this because it's a whole nother topic. But I think a lot of internet culture blames feminism, but really it's capitalism, and it's just the society that we're in. And I don't blame capitalism because that's obviously me doing my channel and that I want to make money. But it's just the culture we live in is that there is less money available. There's less disposable income for males. So males can't afford, the majority of males cannot afford to take multiple women out on multiple dates. And they see this one version of the player doing this. But really, that's like so small. The majority of men aren't going to take a stranger out on a date that they've got no connection with. The irony is people say go for a walk, go for a coffee. You're not going to build chemistry over a walk. Like, I'm sorry. The only way you build romance is through dinner dating and going out and having fun experiences. You're not going to build a connection over just walking. And I generally didn't feel that I would be celibate this long. Sometimes I feel maybe if I was religious, I could justify it more and it wouldn't bother me as much. But I've got to the stage now where I think I've done so much work, I can't do any more. Like, I've literally healed, changed my whole body. I've got a whole new lease of life. I've got my channel where I help people. I think I am, it's obviously difficult to talk about yourself, but I think I'm an amazing person. And I know I'm an amazing person. And people watch my videos in Japan, for fuck's sake. It is difficult to get into that mindset again of why aren't men approaching me? What is wrong with me? That is why I have to just continually just try and improve myself. But at the same time, I feel that someone should just like me for me. And I shouldn't have to keep going on this merry-go-round of having, the perfect body, of being this massive YouTuber just so that someone likes me. At the end of the day, someone should like me for me. And I shouldn't have to jump through all these hoops for someone to like me. And that's why it gets a bit frustrating because, the internet constantly tells you to improve. But at the end of the day, someone should just like you for who you are and your values and what you stand for. And you don't keep needing to go on this massive self-help journey just to find someone. I could understand it if I was waiting for my husband and I said, look, I'm not having sex until I get married. Because that would then limit my pool to just dating Christians. And that is fair enough if you want to do that. Absolutely up to you. But I'm literally just waiting for a boyfriend. That's why I took a step back, because I just wanted to learn to pick better. But the irony now is that I still don't trust my judgment. Now I just don't pick anyone at all because I'm so scared of making a mistake. Making a mistake and me thinking, oh, this celibacy journey has been a waste of time because then I've made the same mistake. It kind of puts you in a situation where you honestly, I know this is going to sound crazy, but you honestly feel like you're a virgin again and you feel that the person that you do pick has to be this amazing, incredible, special man that probably doesn't exist. And the longer it's gone on, the more choosier I've become of me thinking, well, whoever I do have sex with, it has to be this amazing man. And that's also a lot of pressure to put on the man. It's not like I've wasted the time. I mean, in the meantime, I've built my channel, and I don't know, sometimes I sit and think it's been a waste because I feel like I could have been developing a relationship with someone, but at the same time, I know people hate this. I know people hate things always happen for a reason. People hate that phrase, but it is honestly true, and I just have to think that things do happen for a reason, and there must be a reason why I've taken this time to work on myself and build my channel. But honestly, sometimes I sit there and I'm like, just fucking send someone. I literally don't know what else I have to do. I feel like I've healed so much and I've changed, and it is hard to get out of that energy of you have to try and keep being positive and think, yeah, they will come, the person will approach me, it will happen. But I don't know if I'm just an intimidating person. I don't know if it's because maybe my videos intimidate men. I don't know if when people see my channel, they're just so scared of me. I'm honestly quite a sweet, like, sensitive person outside YouTube. This is obviously my internet persona, but off camera I'm honestly quite a sweet person, and sometimes I think maybe my channel puts men off. I don't know. I don't know why I don't get approached more. But that's I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling now. Write in the comments if you feel exactly the same as me, and if you're celibate, maybe you're intentionally or unintentionally celibate. But yeah, let's just all write down in the comments so we can build a community around this.